hectic day for some golf here at Fortune Hills. Timothy Lowe here, welcoming you along to day 2 coverage of the BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup. And, well, we had a record-setting opening round from a certain Kim Min Sol. For the second week in a row, she sets a course record in the opening round. That being said, last week at Montvert, Jung Yun Ji would best her efforts a little bit later on in the week before Hong Jung Min set the 72-hole scoring record. But Min Sol at it once again with a 62 on Thursday. It left her 2 clear at the top. She's backed that up with a round of 66 this morning to be at 16 under par. So can anyone catch her? This is her closest pursuer, Dion. He's picked up 3 birdies already on the day and looks set to make it a 4th after that beautiful wedge shot into the 8th. Dion, 8-time winner on the KLPGA Tour, a couple of majors in there for good measure as well. She's had a well-documented battle with injury throughout her career. When she is fighting fit, she is certainly a dangerous competitor. Suji, who played in Dion's company yesterday, but unfortunately unable to replicate Dion's solid start to Friday. She's 1 over for her round, back at 7 under for the tournament. That's pretty nicely played. Just left of the pin at the par 5-8. Scoring today excellent once again. This is Jung Yun Ji. Birdie effort back on 7. Throw together that 63 on Friday at Montvert. And Park Ji-young. Just kept it short of the creek on the 8th. Able to get as much check as her 2 playing partners, but that is a very nicely worked out shot. Ji-young, she's 4 under for her round. Just off to the right-hand side of the green is where we find Lee Dong-eun at the 7th. Reigning Korea Women's Open champion. At the moment, 1 under par. Coincidentally is where the cut line sits. Looks like it's going to be an under par cut for the 2nd week in a row on the KLPGA Tour. And breathing room would be very handy, although Lee Dong-eun will have a bit of a stressy one coming back. Now, hanging live for Hwang Yo-min coming into 9. And that's 6 under. To the 7th, and the former Korea Women's Open champion Rosi and Suji is having a nice little run of form. It's not finished outside of the top 5 in 3 events since the start of the 2nd half of the season. Got that 3rd tour title at the Heaven Masters back in June. Currently sits 3rd on the money list, just over 100 million won behind Hong Jung Min. Currently working off a string of 9 consecutive rounds on tour in the 60s. Hasn't shot over par since the 11th of July. That's quite a bit of golf from Seung-hui. Sang-Shin Sil's birdie putt. Coming up a little shy there. Back up to the short par 4 8th and Park Ji-young. Pretty straight putt this, coming uphill. Hang on. Oh. That was a little movement to the left in that. Unable to take advantage of a really nicely played second. Par putt now for Dongan at 7. Okay. Nicely hauled out there from Idongan. Keeps her 1 under. Suji. Okay, gets her birdie at the 8th, back to where she began Friday. Fighting along. Remember, tournament lead currently set at 16 under par from Kim Min Sol. ENG is back on the tee, well capable of taking it deep, as well saw last week at Montvert. Awaited second win on the KLPGA Tour a couple months ago. He's been playing some nice golf this season. Now, Dion for back-to-back birdies to get to 12 under. A dozen birdies on the day, and we're not even on the week, and we're not even midway through Friday. Dion. Some weight. Need for the driver off this 8th tee, just trying to keep it short of the creek that splits the fairway. It's only a short par 4 at 271 meters. After a bit of a clunky second shot from that right rough. Yeah, recovers the situation well, but those greens appear to be rolling out a little more. They're pretty soft underfoot for the opening round, but seem to be drying out, just getting a little bit of bounce back in them. The good news is the wind is still down, so of course not quite as tricky as it can play. Possesses power in buckets in Dongan, and he needs the hybrid off this tee at 8. Par saving putt now for Yeo Min. Loses it right early. It's easy to see soft bogeys on 9, particularly from that right rough. You get a bit of an awkward lie, catch it a touch heavy. And if you're not razor sharp with your short game, bogey's not that far away. This is the view from what the players see back on the tee. Really want to aim just right edge of the fairway. So just camber from right to left. From Park Ji-young. Hardly any curvature on that ball whatsoever. Now, drop back to the 7th, and just 92 meters left for Bang Shin Sil second. Very nicely done. I have to say, there are a lot of good swings on the KLPGA Tour, but if I had to pick, I'd want this one. Dion, just so technically solid. Great lines, big wide shoulder turn for not a very tall lady. Very nice ball flight as well, a little lower than some of her peers, much more controllable. This tee to green, so solid, although that looked like it just crept into a divot. Staying cool with the ice pack. It's been a rather warm couple of months here in South Korea. We're heading into the season that this lady enjoys quite a bit. Kim Suji. 6 of her victories have all come in the second half of the year. Maybe her nickname, the Autumn Queen. 2 of those titles, majors as well at the Hanwha Classic, and of course the Hype Jinro, her breakthrough major 3 seasons ago. She's also won the Hana Financial Group Championship, one of the big non-major events on the KLPGA Tour, where Mara Som will defend in a couple of weeks' time. That's what the players see. So you come up into that 8th green, again a short par 4. You just hang back off the tee, try and leave yourself a nice number. Pins in the back left portion of the green today, just up a little rise. You see a lot of darts being thrown. These girls are so good with their wedges. Yunji in excellent position. Try and take herself up to 6 under. Played in the final group last week at the Midi-Heel Hankook Kilbo Championship. Had a front row seat to the Hong Jong-min show. Jong-min, after her round of 66 to start the week, just caught at the 1 under par 71 this morning. That leaves her at 7 under. Lovely from Seong Hui there. Was a bit of a non-factor last week, but comfortably made the cut, but finished well down the pack, just inside the top 40. Don't want to give herself any sort of stress this Friday afternoon. Projected cut line at 1 under, could very easily slide up to 2 under. But plenty of opportunities on the way in. Trying that one there, trying to cut one in. Yeah, beautiful. Good shot from Lee Dong-eun. Yeah, go back to the 7th green, and Yoo Hyun Jo. He's alongside Rosi and Hong Jong-min in the final group at Montvert, just outside the city of Pocheon. Last year's Rookie of the Year, living life dangerously, even par at the moment. She'll be defending her lone title, the major championship at Blackstone in the month of October. A tournament that this lady's won before, the KB Financial Group Star Championship, and that is a brutal test. Don't expect to see low scoring there. Par is your friend. Not so much the case over these first few weeks of the second half of the year. Lost that one out a little right. Park Ji-young spun out of it a fraction. breeze just starting to pick up for these players. Very gettable hole location in the middle of the fairway. Bit friendlier, easily accessible in the back left corner. 128 should be a little chopped down 8-iron. Abbreviated follow through. Line looks pretty good. Yeah, that is stunning. Dion. We'll have a look at a front nine of 31 in a couple of moments' time. Suji would love to follow her in. She says she has no idea why she only seems to play well in the autumn and winter months. It's been a happy hunting ground. The game's certainly trending in the right direction. Starting out right, not coming back as much, but still pretty solid. Back to 8 and Idongen. Got to be careful with this one. Just wants to fall off right. If it's not hit with enough authority. Just inside of 10 feet. Fancy her chances though. Greens are immaculate here at Fortune Hills. Lucky. Good roll too. Shinsil, left to right slider. Did she get inside the top 5? No, just a little pacey. Our first look of the day at multiple time winner Park Min-ji has won this event twice. Opened her account yesterday with a very solid round of 66. Already 1 under for the day. Yinji. This putt just falls left, so gotta hit it firm. Yeah, good birdie. Putting with the flagstick in has been a pretty popular choice. It was a very pretty popular choice when it was allowed a couple years back. But as the years have rolled on, more data has been collected, it's shown that it doesn't really help you too much apart from having a visual aid to be able to look at. I always think that especially wooden flagsticks more likely to bounce a ball out than in. Well, doesn't matter for Rosi and Suji. Nice birdie there. Takes Seung-hui up to 9 under par. Dion. Pretty lengthy one. It's fairly flat-ish. Could be a little aggressive with this one. Not bad. Good try from that spot for Park Ji-young. The club is wide open. Min Byul at the 10th. Former Rookie of the Year on the KLPGA Tour 2 years ago. Still seeking that first victory. Has a couple of playoff losses. One of them coming to Rosi and Suji. A three-way playoff at the Korea Women's Open 2 years ago. Aerial view at what the players see on this 9th tee. Ji will be up to bat first. Looks like Hankyung just getting that second victory. Really took a lot of pressure off her, and she seemed a different golfer, much more freewheeling. That's out towards the right rough. Needs a lucky kick. And she gets it. Seung-hui, well noted, not the longest player on tour, but deadly with her hybrids. Medium length hole for the ladies this night. Tugged a little bit, will find a piece of the fairway. Yeah, should hang on there. A bit on the green, Suji. She's paying attention to Ji Young's putt. Trying to go right in the last 6-7 feet.
Oh.
Good read. Absolutely not a trace of luck there. Just an ounce more pace. See that breeze starting to swirl up a little bit. So back nine could be interesting for our featured groups. Out to the back nine is where we find Park Min-ji looking for birdie on 10. Nope, it's going to slide off low. Dion. More comfortable look than the two playing partners. Right to left breaking putt for a right-handed golfer. Got it. Dion. 3 birdies in a row. She's up to within 3 shots of Kim Min-sol. Fantastic front 9 on Friday for Dion. Chopping into the lead of the teenage leader. Min-sol still in control at 16 under par. about kept it down the left half of the fairway. Off the tee, Rosi and Suji, she'll be first to play into this green. Using the amount of slope. Right to the left, just hung that one out to dry. This green definitely firming up. You can hear it with that first bounce. Expect the players to allow for a little bit more release as they make their way through the golf course. And three-time tour winner Bae So-hyun, second shot to the 8. She's got wedge in her hands. The company of Bang Shin-sil and Yoo Hyun-jo. Bit of a hook line. That ball slightly above the level of her feet, so it flattens out the golf swing. To produce a little bit more right to left spin on the ball. Down that one out right, off a lower flight, trying to get that to release. It's a very nicely played shot, so creative. Don't fight the slope. Understand how that affects the golf swing and the spin you put on the ball. For that compensation. That's the class there from ENG. Now Shin-sil also with a wedge into 8. Should stay up on the top shelf. Certainly going to be running coming from this line from Lee Dong-eun. Sat down in the grass a little, like ENG, balls above her feet. One less club in her hands. The bigger bounce coming from that rough. Easy. Just through the green, but no problems there. Straightforward chip she's left herself. Now Yeomin out to the start of the back nine, third into the 10th. Much easier hole location today on this par 5. Right half of the green, not tucked near any bunker. Oh, carries it off her playing partner's golf ball. She'll have to play it from where that is. Playing partner will get to replace her ball as close as possible to its original spot. Back on the tee, Suji with the driver. The place you don't want to miss it here on 10 is just to the left. You've got fairway bunkers there and tree trouble beyond. Beautiful day for some golf at Fortune Hills. A little bit warmer than it was in the opening round. Certainly a bit breezier as well. Dion sets off on her back nine in hot pursuit of Kim Min-song. She trails by 3. Shin-sil facing a slowish putt up the slope at 8. Not going to hang on. Young has that little squat pre-shot routine, trying to get into her left side a little more. On the green, Seung-hui, the opportunity. Got it. Oh, Rosi and Suji. He's got back-to-back birdies up to double digits under par. Moment shares third with Hankyung, who scribbled her name next to a 68 this morning. Beso Hyun just give her a little bit of cushion. Just slips it in the left edge. Good putt. And a nice birdie for Bae. Eyes okay for Yo Min. Play a little plop and run. Stopped a little bit quicker than she expected. I don't hate this play for Dion. Fringes cut a little bit tighter than they were last week at Montfort, so the ball should stay rolling pretty smoothly through that cut. Looks like a gentle little rise before it hits the green. Not her best effort, but it'll be the simple tap in for par. Keeps Korea Women's Open champion perilously perched at 1 under. Now Minji at the par 3 11th. The opportunity for the 2022 and 2023 champion. And a nice weight on that putt. Speed from Park. ENG after that well thought out shot. Gentle little left to right birdie opportunity. Inside of the top 10. Solid 3 from a very solid player, Jung Yun-ji. To 7 under. Minbel at the par 3 11th. Got that on a nice line. Just tailing off. You'll find many players who complain about 2 putting from that range. Stay 6 under. Going to be layups all round for the featured group at the 10th. No one's going to be reaching this hole at 517 meters. Dion. A couple yards closer than Ji Young. Drying out the golf course certainly going to help the run out, especially if you're hitting fairways. See that release a good 15-20 yards. Suji last to play. Advantage is 3 for Kim Min-sol. Lee Dae-yeon making the turn at 5 under after going out in 31. Longest off the tee, but decided to lay back the furthest. Kim Suji with a 125 meters plus the upslope to this pin. She knows what she's doing. Very nicely managed. And Shinsil into the ninth. Looking for some kind of sawed-off 9-iron from 130 meters. Beautiful. It's wandering away. Stay there, though. Hankyung. The inside of 120 from here. Is where we find Rosi and Suji. Cut it up to 10 under par after a couple of birdies at 8 and 9. I expect this one to be dancing around the pin. Dion. More than a gap wedge from here. Let's watch that first bounce. And after that, hard. Okay, pretty solid. 3 birdie looks, and good ones at that for the featured group on 10. Dion then, not even with her power can she even dream of getting home in 2. It's important to keep this one in play. Try and lay it up to a good number. Took a double bogey to start her tournament on this hole yesterday. Pulled it wildly left into the trees. Just a little sound putting her off there. So we'll reset. Yuji, last to play. Currently 13th on the KLPGA Tour money list. Last top 10 coming at Rainbow Hills at the Korea Women's Open back in June. He's not missed a cut since the IM Financial Group Open back in April. That coin of Suji shouldn't be in the way of Park Ji-young here. Should be looking well left of that. Shinsil up and out of that quickly. Did not like it one bit. Poor effort from Bang. Cabbagey looking lie for Kim Min Byul at the 12. She's got a 6 iron. Can't get it to rise all the way onto the back shelf, but being in the fringe keeps that ball up there. If that was on the green, that would roll a good 20-25 feet further back. Now can Dion find a 14th birdie of the week and a 4th in a row? Ooh, it looked good for all the way, just a fraction low. Now Minji, much more control on this coming from the fairway. She's got to land this just short of the upslope, trying to have it run up. You pitch it on that top level, so hard to hold it with the firming greens. A bit unlucky, just pitched a bit soft. That's that slope I was talking about. That's okay. It's a tricky pin on the 12. Suji would have noticed that Park Ji-young's putt didn't move as much to the right as she initially read. So that line on Suji's ball indicating maybe just half a ball outside left edge. Takes advantage of the lucky teach. And Kim Soo-ji now gets it the right side of par for the first time on Friday. Seung-hui just a straightforward layup now. Watch how stable her lower body stays throughout the course of the swing. And just drives through with that right hip from the top of the backswing. Nicely done. Also with a hybrid. And should keep that short of the rough. Can't tell from that camera angle with the mount. That's how you keep it on the top level. What a shot there from An Sung-hee into 12. There's Shinsil. Okay. Makes amends. Min. Birdie putt here. Sliding back the wrong direction. She's only at 4 under par now. Oh, just a little shy with the pace.
shot.
Up to the tee. First of the 3 par 3s on the back 9 at Fortune Hills. Kim Suji. It's a pretty long hole on the scorecard, but with the elevation that the players come down, it's usually about a 7-iron for most of the ladies. Most of yesterday's hole location. Pin cut a bit deeper in the green means it's a 6 for Suji today. Oh, wrestling against that pull miss. Oh, well, almost pulled out a stunning cold shot. See, she was just hanging on for dear life at impact. Thought that one was hitting left, but it was bang on line for Kim Suji. Have another look at this one. Oh, pitches just short, bounces up against the flagstick, that close to an ace. Such great hands and awareness at the bottom of the swing to know what position that club faces in and try to manipulate it accordingly. Wouldn't recommend it for your weekend golfers, but Kim Suji is one of the best at it. Good speed from Park Min-ji from the lower level at 12. Now Yunji, third into 10. Off a slight upslope. Safe to say that's going to be a birdie 4 for Jung. Dion. She's got 8-iron. It's going to be a fairly big one. Hui. Can't quite see how close Jung Yun-ji's approach is from the fairway. Well, she won't know that she's stuck it as well. How about those two shots from Jung Yun-ji and Ro Seung-hui at 10? Yeah, Park Ji-young. Split the difference. I'd say this is a 7-iron for Ji-young. Sound of compression there. She's talking to it. Yeah, could have done with a club ball. Yeah, Dongan. She's coming out of the fairway here. She'll get good spin on this. If she's coming from that rough, she's going to have to drop it 5-6 yards shorter, let it chase along. Sounded like it was coming from the rough. That's the chase I was talking about. How about these 3 shots from this group into 10? What display of wedge wizardry from the trio of Dong-eun, Seung-hui, and Yun-ji. Well, I'm no Nostradamus, but I'm going to say these putts are all going to go in for this trio. Great way to start the back 9. Gives a little breathing room to that cut line. Golf's not a hard game. Just be good with your wedges. You'll have a lot more of those moments. Lovely stuff from that trio. Dare I say it, you can give this one a run. Pretty flat chip for Dion. For first putt for Kim Min Bo, leaves a lot of work to do, but she's up to the task. Recovery the situation there from Kim. Lengthy one at 11 for Park Ji-young. That one needs to take a chair, settle down. Ooh, touch racy. Brilliant second from An Sung-yi. This would move her onto the cut line. Yeah, well done. Good birdie. Important one at that, Fahd. Try to get away, but thankfully it doesn't for Park Min-ji. Good two-putt. Should be kicking herself, walking off this green with 4. It's a bit of a tricky read, this, for Park Ji-young. But overall, just putting back up the slope slightly, I'd say don't give the hole away. Play it with a little bit of speed. Take the break out of the equation. Straight push there. Very clumsy 3-putt bogey. After that near race, Suji with just this remaining to get herself up alongside Lee Young at 10 under par. Don't see Dion having any difficulty with this putt for her part. couple of par fives coming up. Dion to try and make an impression on the top of that leaderboard. That has been occupied by Kim Min Sol since her eagle on a closing hole right at the end of coverage yesterday. 62-66 leads the way. Another low-scoring week on the KLPGA Tour, and that's the elevation difference I was talking about earlier. Tee up from way at the top of that hill. And if your ball starts offline, it tends to stay offline. Good amount of hang time you get from this tee ground. It's going to be Jung-Yun-Ji first to go. Good spot there. She would have been looking right at that target, standing back on the tee, a little bit right of the pin. Give yourself around 20-25 feet for birdie. Seung-hui. Jung-Yun-Ji's ball. Perfect target for Roh. She's a little more aggressive with her start line. She's been rewarded with a much shorter birdie putt. Oh, Bang Chin Sil, she run into some trouble here at the 10th. Not a very good layup to be that close to the fall off. Doing the wise thing out to the right, trying to work it off the slope. Yeah, pretty good from that angle. Yeah, Suji wanting to hang back here with a hybrid, a 3-wood off the 12th tee. Dion also with that hybrid, again having firmer fairways. You don't need driver and chance the skinnier landing zone. Penalty area left, deep bunker right. And this is the right play given the conditions this afternoon. So Min Sol's lead, still 3 over Dion. Birdies from Seung-hui, Suji, and Jung-Yun-Ji. See them climb up that leaderboard. Oh, we didn't see it, but Idongen's tee shot safely found the middle of the green. He had 11, and she will have a lengthy birdie opportunity. Although we have seen from this distance with the slightly quicker greens, pose Park Ji-young some issues, so you gotta be on the ball with your pace control from right around 35 feet. Now that looks pretty solid. That's pretty good from Idongen. Dion up from the middle of the fairway at 12. Can she get it to that tiny little plateau on the back of the green where the pins cut today? Yeah, not going to have the fault momentum to get all the way up the slope, and just on that angle she's going to have the steeper portion of that shoulder to deal with, so tricky little putt. Yunji, good solid tee shot. This is a club that, as long as it's cooperating, Jung Yunji will always be there or thereabouts on the KLPGA Tour. It's blown hot and cold in her career, but it's been trending in the right direction. Not a lot of movement in this one. Ooh, absolutely clobbered that. I'm wishing she hadn't. Suji from the right rough, which actually will help get a little bit of chase on this, so she can sort of flight one down, try and knuckle it. That one's cutting in. Yeah, that's going to release up to the top plateau. Very clever shot from Kim Suji. Seung Hui bowled off the tee. Presents it with a very good birdie opportunity. Body language is going to indicate that that one did not go home for Ro Seung Hui. Just the par. Yeah, Shinsil. The toe of that putter actually not on the ground, so it's lying a little funny in the hands of Bang Shin-sil. Something to keep an eye on as we go to Min Belt on the 13th for her birdie. Now, it's got to stay solid here. Yeah, well done. Such an important putt for your momentum. Good par saving putt. Let's go to Bae So Hyun now. Chance to get to 2 under. Yeah, well done. ENG coming through some of that bare area. Wonder if that just knocked it offline a little. So, going to be a solid par. Shinsil looks a little uncomfortable putting through a shadow. And that's klutzy. From Shin Sil, 3-putt bogey out of nowhere. Drops her back to 6 under. One of the straighter drivers on tour, so expecting Rosi and Suji to just try to prod this one a little bit further up the fairway with the big stick. Again, the only miss you don't want here is left. ENG also staying aggressive with her driver. One of those players with very little curvature throughout the bag, so it doesn't have to play for a big hook or a big cut. Very tight lines. That one just up the right edge of the fairway. Needs to hang on. That shoulder that Dion's got to go up and over. Got to hit this with a good amount of speed. Send it up right. Never going to be high enough or hard enough. Poor effort from Dion. Shin Sil after that little hiccup back at 10, up to the tee at 11. Yeomin needs to find a little spark late in her round. Does it come here on 13? I think that counts. Great shot. There's Suji after that very clever approach from the right rough. Still, this putt wants to move to her left. Maybe just a cup outside right edge. Oh, can't get much closer than that. Great try. Dion left herself a bit of a stressy one here. It's such a speed-dependent putt because it really wants to rake left early, but if you touch too heavy-handed and you blow through that initial movement, it never comes back at the end. So you really got to match up line and speed perfectly for this one to drop. Again, like we saw with Yunji on the previous green, this is such a big putt for your momentum. Gotta have it if she wants to continue this march up towards Kim Min-sol's 16 under par target. And the momentum comes to a screeching halt for Dion. 3-putt on 12, back to 12 under. It's the first bogey of the week. Donglin's got the same kind of shot that Suji had earlier on. The ball's sitting down a little more in the rough, but you've seen the blueprint of how you want to play this. Land it in that front segment, and pitch it into the slope, especially with her trajectory. It's going to just kill and roll back. The only way to get it up under that shelf is short on a lower flight, have it run up. Unlucky big first kick, but did the right thing, tried to play the right shot. They don't always come off, but thinking clearly, thinking well. Seung-hui, how does she want to attack this? ENG. She'll take anything on that upper level, really. Gripping well down on this 6-iron. Low and left. That one needs to hurry. It's okay. She's on the dance floor, but it's going to be a lengthy one. So-hyun on the 11th. Good looking putt. Really good looking putt for Bae So-hyun from downtown. Birdie 2 for Bae, off to the races on this back nine. To the uphill par 5 13th, and Kim Suji on the tee. Shinsil has got to focus on pace here. Don't be emboldened by seeing So-hyun's putt from similar range drop. It's got to keep stretching. Yeah, not bad. So Dion, at least he steps up to a par 5 after klutzy little bogey back at 12. Good chance to bounce back straight away. Up on the green, Park Bo-kyom, vital par-saving putt for the former Kyochon Honey Ladies Open champion. She'll stay on that projected cut line of 1 under par. Shinsil looking to just clean things up. Oh, no. 3-putt to start the back nine for Bang Shin-sil. Seung-hui, I think she's got to land this just in the frig, try and have it take some of the momentum out, trickle along to the hole. Just like that. Just like that. Glorious touch. Now, Yeoman, a brilliant third. Finds a much needed birdie, back up to 5 under and inside the top 20. Yeah, this putt for Jung Yin-ji, just going to ride along that little spine, which should move the ball right early, but as it gets onto the back plateau, that second slope's going to start to influence it and move it back left. But the whole time it makes its way up towards the cup, it's going to be working uphill. So this has got to be hit with some authority. All in all, not a bad effort, but she's going to have to grind over another 5-6 footer for par. Now Suji. And just a layup for these players at the 13th. to 14. And Hwang Yo-min birdied this hole yesterday. She's got an 8-iron, that E-Class Avant-Garde hole-in-one prize. Still yet unclaimed this week for an ace. Oh, just landed a little soft there, but no harm done for Hwang Yo-min. Dion. That lower ball flight means she's going to have to try to work a little harder to get some elevation. Okay, gets that past Suji's into a nice flat spot. Minji from the right rough at 15. Looks like a pretty thick lie. Sounded like she got through it pretty cleanly. Is it going to hang on? No, just tails off a little right. Lee Dong-eun for her par. Klutzy little chip shot from the back of the green. And a bit of a costly bogey for Lee Dong-eun. Again, just out of position, slightly off the tee. Punished with this challenging back hole location. I don't think she needs to start this outside the hole, ENG. Do what she did back on 11. Take out the break, try and thump it in with authority. Yep, well done. Couple of good par-saving putts there on 11 and 12. A little meat left on the bone for Rosi and Suji's part. Just the fact that she's coming downhill slightly in the opposite angle to Jung Yoon-ji means that she won't be able to hit this as firm. Okay, similar result. Good par. Expect this one within 10 feet for Suji. Up the hill, nice angle to the pin. Trying to hold that little cut off. Yeah, right on cue. Beautifully done. Park Ji-young, just from the step cut of rough, can pitch it sort of where Suji's ball ended up. Maybe expect a bit more release. Not going to get as much spin coming from the first cut as you will from the fairway. Last to go, Dion. Perfect line on the down green segment of fairway on a little upslope. This is just a all systems go green light special for E. Beautiful. Nice view from back up on the tee. Rosi and Suji. So a drop shot from Dion means the lead of Kim Min-sol is back up to 4 here on day 2 at the BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup. Suji. Good birdie opportunity inside of 10 feet at the 13th. Right on cue. Kim Suji now at 211 under par. Well, that was happening. Back on the fairway, Rosi and Suji. It sounds like Dion has made a birdie up ahead. We'll surely get to that in a couple of moments. Not sure the layup of Idong is far more interesting, but that shouldn't be a problem for her. Yeah, there it goes. And last but not least, Jung Yun-ji looking to do the same. Just a low bullet up the right-hand side of the fairway for Jung. That was going on. Up ahead on the green, Park Ji-young is back at 4 under par now. Desperate need of a couple of birdies, much like Hwang Yo-min in a similar position, but can't find one there at 13. Speaking of Yo-min, here she is at 14. Good roll, good pace, good try. Alright, we heard the chants and the cheers as Lee Dong-eun back in the fairway about 2 minutes ago was hitting her second shot, but let's pretend like this one's live. Lee Daeon, a birdie putt on 13 for the bounce back. Yeah, there it is. A nice way to respond after the 3-putt. Dion back within 3. Minji up ahead at the last of the par 3s, the 16. She's got a 6-iron. One of her 7 birdies on Thursday came on this hole. Oh, and that one coming up well short. Ideally, you want to hit some kind of little cut into this back right pin, and it looks like Sungwee's got a conducive lie for that, ball slightly below her feet. So just aim this about 15 feet left, try and drift it back towards the target. ENG. Imagine this is a gap wedge for her. Don't think you want to feather a pitching wedge, not to a raised green. Oh, brilliant. All over the flagstick. Battling hard to make the cut. Donglen. Trying to take advantage of good opportunities like this par 5 13th. Nice looking accessible pin on the front left of the 14th green today. Suji's got 8 iron. Minji in that grassed in area short of the green on 16, just trying to bump it through the fringe, have it trundle along. Par on her round today. Park. Now Dion. 1 club less than Suji. Not for the first time today, all over the flagstick. Head to 15 in Hankyung. A pitching wedge into this back right pin position. Don't want to leak it right. Green falls off on that side. Got that to land softly. Not bad. Young. Just looked a little negative body language since that 3-putt on 11. Shoulders a little slumped, but good chance here. Good looking golf shot. Brilliant shot from Park Ji-young. That's more like it. Seung-hui, poor shot to go through the back of the green at 13. Similar to the one she played in the previous hole. Just try to stub this one through the fringe on a lower flight, get it releasing. Showing off now, Ro Seung-hui chips in for birdie at the par 5. 5th on the day, up to 12 under. Just a smidge of movement to the right for Jung In-ji, but she's looking about a ball outside left edge. This is going to have to just be trickling over the front edge on that line. Lovely. Good birdie there from Jung In-ji. She too gets it 5 deep for the day. Suji ahead on the par 3 14th. Good birdie look here. Ooh. It's the other way at the cup. Unlucky. So, Dion definitely could use this. Would round out a nice trio of birdies for these ladies at the par 5. So, Dion for a 7th birdie of the day. Looks to be a putt with not a lot of break in it. So to keep that putter head accelerating. Nice square contact. Wow, that really snapped left, just short of the cup. Great look, just wanders by. Min, flag out, intentions are clear, pretty makeable. Also coming uphill, so can play it with pace. Brilliant. So, a couple of birdies now for Hankyung Min, have her heading back in the right direction. Still gotta pay attention to this one. Start this outside left edge for Park Ji-young. Nice smooth stroke, a good roll, and an excellent birdie. And a timely one at that for Ji-young. Also an important par-saving putt coming up at the other par 3. Park Min-ji at 16. Cruel game golf can be. Sloppy 4. Dion safely in with her 3. So we're seeing some good movement up around the top of the leaderboard. Dion, Rosi and Kim Suji making excellent progress this afternoon as they all try and hunt down the 19-year-old leader Kim Min-sol. The breeze that looked like it was going to be a factor as we made the turn is pretty much vanished midway through the back 9. Jung Yun-ji with the honor to a pretty gettable front left hole location. You just got to be wary of the first bounce on these firm greens, the greens that are firming up. You'll just air out a little bit to the right. Actually, no problem being a little long and right. Gives you a slightly easier putt. You want to be short-sided left. Well, that's even better. What control there from Jung. Perfect line, or a good line, I would say, is just left edge of the TV tower for Rosi and Suji. Start out an aggressive line, and just like Jung Yun-ji, brilliant distance control. Hit on 15, Suji with driver. She's 5 shots back and in solo 4th. Look concerned, but catches a piece of the fairway. Yeomin up at 16. Don't want to be in that grass bunker. We saw Minji short of the green. Out a little long and right is okay. Ooh, just clears the fringe, and it's going to work out fine. Dion also with the driver, just try to dodge the left rough. Don't be tempted to bite off the corner of the dog leg. Okay, just next to Kim. Well, Minsol still top of the shop, but good rounds working for Dion, Seonghui, and Suji here on Friday at Fortune Hills. Three excellent tee shots on the 15th. Park Ji-young will go first. Just try to work a little cut with a 9-iron off the TV tower towards that back right pin. Started on a good line. Could have done with half a club more, but still pretty solid. Now, Bang Shin-sil, she's had some putting struggles on this backside. Back at 4 under now. Chance to get one of those shots back here on 13. Oof. I believe that's a new putter in the bag this week for Bang. It might not stay in the bag for very long. Yeah, Dion. Again, perfect position off the tee. Got to take advantage. Got to be aggressive to this pin. Didn't like it. Knew that was hitting a little left of target. A good distance control still presents her with a reasonable look. These girls are a little slow, it has to be said. Remember, the group ahead already almost up to the 15th green. Seung-hui and company not even completing the 14th hole. So they'll have to get their skates on, unless they're being rules official with stopwatches swarming about the place shortly. Birdie chance. Would move her up alongside Dion at 13 under par. Working very gently down the hill, maybe just a fraction right. Suji. Almost identical shot to the one that Dion had. Does much better with it. Lovely stuff from Kim. Ji. Again, that excellent iron play. Just set up another good birdie opportunity. Yet to birdie a par 3 today. I have to say that's not going to be the case for long. Pretty straightforward conversion. Yeoman. Middle of the green on 16. Outside look from around 25 feet. That wants to move right at the end. It's got good pace. Oh, did everything but go in. Great putt. Not all good putts go in. Anyone who's played this game for a long enough time will tell you that. So he just polishes that one up for her 3. to 15. And Jung Yun Ji has now got herself up inside the top 5. 10 under with Lee Ga-young. An impressive 6 under par for her day's work. Yeah, looking like she's pulled it a little, Ro Seong Hui. Just going to stay in the fairway. Just. Up on the green, Dion. Bit of right to left in this. Chance to get the gap down to as little as it's been all day long. Has she hit it? Has she hit it? No, she hasn't. Not good all the way. Now checking on Kim Min Byul, who will birdie the 17th to get inside the top 10. Good tidy round working, Min Byul. Great chance for a 4th birdie of the day coming up at the par 5 closing hole as we drop back to the 15th and Kim Suji's birdie attempt. Can't get that one to swing in. Have to be content with par. ENG. A little bit further back than we've seen a couple of players coming into this 15th hole, but with her iron game, no flag is safe. Started right, just turning back towards the center, but pretty good distance control once again. Seung Hui was begging that ball to catch a piece of the fairway. Thankfully it has. She's on an upslope with the perfect angle to that pin. Well, like Park Ji-young, just a little shy. Okay, 2 clubs in hand. I hope she's gone for the longer one. Yeah, just measuring out the allowed 2 club lengths distance back from the tee markers. I like this play. Just take that short miss out of the equation. Should be a touch of breeze off the right here for Kim Suji. The line, not that pin. It's sort of just the left edge of the bunker. Leave yourself in the spot where we found Hwang Yo-min. That's a pretty solid tee shot. Tugs it, but again with that longer club, carries the trouble. It's an okay spot. Nothing to write home about, but there are certainly worse places to be missing the green on 16. And Dion next to go. Goes long left as well. Characteristically poor shot from Dion there. Well, she's got a couple of holes to try and get a little closer to Kim Min-sol, who continues to lead day 2 of the BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup, backing up that course record 62 yesterday with a 66 this morning. A bit of a klutzy miss off the tee for Dion, but not an overly difficult chip left. Line looks okay. A little bit of an upslope. She can carry this one onto the green. Send it out a little bit right. First kick's going to be a touch left once it hits the surface. Fabulous touch. Simple little three for Dion coming up as we drop back to 15 and Rosi and Suji for birdie. Oh, it had half a chance. If only she remembered to hit it. Good line though. Suji, is she putting this or is she chipping this? Small stance indicates that she's chipping this one, and I like this play. Take that fringe out of the equation. Oh, had a little bit more speed. Good thing it hit the hole. That was traveling a good 5-6 feet past, maybe more. Jung G after that fabulous approach for 3 on the bounce. 7 under for the day. Remember, shot a 63 last week in the second round at Montvert. Didn't shoot around the 60s over the weekend. Tumbled outside of the top 10 to close the week, but she's on the move again on a Friday. We've got a Hwang Yoo-min on the penultimate hole for a birdie. Cut line still hanging pretty solid at 1 under par, so that's good news for the ladies who've completed their rounds. The likes of Lee Chae-yun, 2, Cho Ah-yan, and So Er-jin should be safety due to the weekend, especially Park Do-young, who put together a 66 this morning after a 77 on day 1. And the grind never stops for Kim Min-sol. Completed her round about 3 hours ago and is still out there on the practice putting green, grinding away. Going to be taking the lead into the weekend on the KLPGA Tour. Did finish runner-up at the Kyochon Honey Ladies Open 2 years ago as an amateur. Lady who is running away with the Dream Tour money list through a dozen events this year on tour. Never missed a cut in the KLPGA Tour as well, so it's been a very solid year. Rookie year as a professional. Could be life-changing come Sunday afternoon if she continues this excellent form here at Fortune Hills. So, Suji for par on 16. Got to be mindful of that slope around the hole. It's going to peel off the right in a hurry if this isn't struck solidly. Okay, good putt. Nice up and down. The cooling fans, ever popular in the heat of Korean summer. Seung-hui and Lee Dong-eun just taking a moment to pause as they get set to play on the 16th. Just making the big move this afternoon. ENG, 7 under for her day. Alongside Suji at 11 under par now. So at the par 3 holes. 32 of them yesterday. This one on a pretty tasty line. Coming up well short. 16th hole's tricking up a number of players. Now, race that birdie putt pass at 17 now for par, Hwang Yo-min. Don't want to leave yourself any unnecessary stress. Let's go a fraction long on this 16th. That will be the play. Oh, go straight at it. Give yourself a bigger cushion. What a tee shot from Lee Dong-eun. Penultimate tee shot for Kim Suji. Starting left, just working that against the natural camber of the fairway. Gets it to stick up nicely down the right hand side. Dion wants to play. The line is sort of between those two bunkers. You can see just left of the fairway, or short of the fairway. An Sung-hee, huge putt for her. She's done all the hard work this to play the weekend for birdie on 18 to get to 1 under par. Yeah, well done. There's absolute nails. Did not have her best stuff today, An Sung-hee, but a vital birdie on the closing hole means she will cash a check this week at the Hankyung Ladies Cup. Back to Bae So-hyun on 15. Lay that club face open, drop the hands a little, get a little more loft on the club, try and slip the leading edge underneath the ball, have it pop out high and soft with not much release. That's That's the problem. You do pitch on a downslope from that angle. Good technique, but struggling for par now. Minbell on the closing hole. Bogey putt. She must have run to some right old trouble. Okay, limits the damage. She'll head into the weekend at 6 under par. She was up to the task with some vital par-saving putts at 11 and 12, but this par putt on 16 for Jung Yoon-ji longer than both of those efforts combined. Can't get away with it this time. There's the price for a poor tee shot. And does a little bit of her good work. Still 2 holes to play, including the par 5 18th, where we have seen our fair share of birdies through the first 2 days. This is where we find Park Min-ji with this for par. Ooh, try to get away. Disappointing 73 today for Min-ji, but she's safely through to the weekend. Only 3 top 10s this season for Park Min-ji and new caddy, Lee Sun-sok. See what the weekend holds for the 19-time Tour champion. Back to Roh Seung-hui after that stellar tee shot on a very aggressive line. Is this to join Dion in a share of second? But just wiggles right at the end, but pretty flat, so play it with some pace. Great birdie, super tee shot and nicely converted. Roh Seung-hui to 6 under for the day and up into a share of second with Lee Dion. Speaking of Dion, here she is on 17. Set to play her second. Cut on the front portion of the green today, so being a little bit long. Absolutely no problem at all. She's got 9 iron. You find when you pull shots, they tend to go a little bit longer. De-lofting of the club, the green regulation. Lee Dong-eun, braver tee shot than Roh Seung-hui, and not much left in this for birdie. A good 2, a very good 2 for the Korea Women's Open champion. He's got shots to spare now with just 2 to go. Back to Suji on 17. leaking a little right for Ro. Right down the middle. She's got high expectations. Hasn't looked pleased on a number of shots today, but they've all been right where she's been aiming. Now Yeomin on the closing hole. Left rough, but not much to go to the green. Pins cut on the right, so ample real estate to work with. Oh, just pitched a little soft in the upslope. Struggled to have any sort of momentum today, young Hwang Yeomin. Dongan keeping herself comfortably clear of the cut line. Give that one a good rip, and that is a long way down the fairway on the 17th. Yunji off the back of a first bogey of the day. Now steps up to the tee box at this 349-meter par 4. Outside opportunity for Dion at 17. First 2/3 of the putt pretty flat, then just works its way up a very gentle rise. Yeah, good line on that. Decent pace. Simple tap in for par. Hwang Yo-min. Birdie look on 18. And again, absolutely clobbers one. Well past. Speed control has been a massive issue for Hwang this afternoon. Park Ji-young. Slightly flatter putt than the one that Dion had. And a better result. Good birdie for Park Ji-young. Topsy-turvy back nine for her. Yo-min for par. Don't want to end your day 3-putt, 3-putt. That would make dinner taste very unpleasant indeed. Oh. Well, she hasn't had a problem making birdies. She just had too many sloppy bogeys. 71 today for big-time tour winner. Suji. This left to right putt comes across a little slope. Falls off low early. Park Bo-kyom. Similar position to An Song-yi, but Bo-kyom can't get it to go. And it's going to be an early exit from this year's BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup. 74 for her. A bit of cleaning up to do for Suji on 17. Ooh. That's a 3-putt from out of nowhere. Suji's second bogey of the day. Clumsy. Right, Jung In-ji wasting little time. Steps in over this one. We know she's only got eyes for this flagstick. Gonna have to hoist this one up high in the air. Tough to stop it on a lower flight to this raised green. Kind of the position we saw Dion earlier, and that one's still releasing on. Yeah, Seung Hui, just from this little dip in the fairway, means that ball's going to be on a little down slope, so expect her to play a little right of this whole location. Yeah, good smart play there. Right, home hole for Dion. She's got some speed in her. It's interesting to see if she wants to try to step on this one. Ooh, it's leaking right. How far right? Just stays away from that fall off. That could have been disaster for Dion. Yeah, back to the 16th and Bang Shin Sil. Which should just be in the comfortable range for Billy, who's had some putting woes. 3 over on the day is Shin Sil. Yunji with a slow one from the back half of the green at 17. He's got half a chance. Oh, look at that from Jong Yunji. Oh, golf gods giveth, golf gods taketh away, and then golf gods giveth again. An 8th birdie of the round sees her back to 11 under par. Well, that'll certainly speed up play. Look at this reaction. You're just trying to nestle it up close from that range. You start to think, that's online. Oh, it's gone in. Brilliant. And birdie look from front portion of the green. Should go a little left to right. Pretty flat. As long as she keeps the bugs away from her, she'll be able to get over and hit this putt without too much difficulty. Saw Hwang Yo-min do that a little earlier on. I wonder if players think that's a little uphill when it's sort of flattered. Give it a bit more speed and get that roll out. All of a sudden you have a bit of a stressy comebacker. Good smart play from Rosi and Suji, who's in a good spot, and having watched Lee Dong-eun's putt, she should know that this is a pretty flat one with a bit of tilt to the right. So you don't need to be overly gung-ho with this effort. A bit like with Jong Yun-ji, so just try and nestle it up close. If it drops in, brilliant. If not, take your 2-putt, thank you very much, head to the last. Well, gonna have to keep this one low underneath the branches in front of her and just get it chasing down the fairway if you're Dion. Lucky off the tee. Push drive. Brilliantly done. Took an aggressive swipe at it. Good control there of trajectory and curvature. Having a pop at this in two is Suji. Oh, just on the front edge of the green. Nicely done. So Dongan for her par. Back on 17. She can reach 18 and 2. This would just make the walk a little more comfortable. Yeah, nicely holed.
나는 로프에 빠졌을 때 좌측을 보고 그냥 하라고 해서 로프가 스케가 잡아주기 때문에 열릴 것 같거든.
So ENG safely down the fairway at the last. Now Seonghui to the tee. Led the driving distance statistic on the KLPGA Tour for pretty much all season, Lee Dong-eun. So certainly possesses the power to reach this green in two. But you've got to get a tee shot safely away first. Got a couple of bunkers down the left, which she might be able to reach. But she gets this in play. It's very much game on. Such speed through the ball, but this one's headed left. For Lee Dong-eun, is it going to just make its way to the fairway? No, but the line looks decent enough where she could be tempted. Ji-young. Looks like a pretty level lie in the fairway. It's cut on that right edge of the green. This one just a touch left of the pin. Beautiful. He's hung tough today, Park Ji-young. Hasn't had her best stuff, but a couple of key putts in the back nine have just given her a sniff going into the weekend. She's well capable of putting around in the mid to low 60s together. She and everyone else going to be looking up at the name of Kim Min-sol as we head into the second half of this championship. Dion, Houdini-like escape from the trouble down the right. Oh, what she'd love to Get this one stone dead. Be within 2 of Kim Min Sol at the halfway stage. Giving herself a look. Yeah, Shinsil at the penultimate hole. Could pop in her putt for par back at the 16th. Oh, and that's very good. Good shot to 17. I'm sure she'll be able to brush that one in without incident. Now, Suji from just short of the green in 2. She's got to go high here. There's a little mound that juts in to the right-hand side, so can't really putt it or play a low bump and run. Oh, and that is just a straight-up chunk for Kim Suji. Ugly stuff there. Bit of an unpleasant hanging lie for Rosi and Suji. She'll look out towards the cart path on the left to try and slot this one down the fairway. Suji take 2, and these are always the hardest shots after you've hit an awful little pitch. Have to do the exact same thing over the next shot. Really a test of mental resolve and fortitude. Much better second time of asking for Suji. ENG also going to be laying up, playing this 18th the conventional way. So, Dion for a final birdie. A round of 66. Looks to be a pretty straight putt, in all honesty. Great way to finish for Dion. 15 birdies through 36 holes. She'll start Saturday within 2 of your teenage leader Kim Min Sol. Lie just too poor for Idongan to even think about going for this green, so just forced to lay up here. Still can make birdie with a wedge in hand. We saw Dion do up ahead. Suji for par. Just a hair outside right lip, I want to say. And that is a shocking way to finish for Kim Suji. Front of the green in 2. Walk off with a bogey 6. Now, Bae So-hyun, unfortunately, back at 1 under par now. That's a big birdie for Bae on 17. Gets her to 2 under. Gets her an important cushion coming up the final hole. 10 career victories for Park Ji-young. Yet to be in the winner's circle this season. Hasn't missed a cut. A couple of runner-up finishes early in the year as well, the Dukshin APC Championship and the KLPGA Championship. This for a closing birdie. Got it. Yeah, good resilient performance for Ji-young there. 67 today. Goes into the weekend at 7 under. Shinsil claws back a shot after a brilliant approach. So that's 6 top 10s this year. Kim Suji only played 15 events. But no finishes inside the top 3. 4th at the Blue Canyon at the start of the year in Thailand, and 4th at the Aurora World Ladies Championship back at the beginning of the month. A klutzy way to end the day. 71 though. She's lurking at the halfway mark. Seung-hui should be right around a full lob wedge for her. So throw it past the pin with a bit of spin. That would be the play. Yeah, well done. By virtue of club head speed, Lee Dong-un can generate a whole lot of spin. It looks like there's just a bit of breeze now helping, and off the right. Visually, you want to feel like you can just cut into this one, hold it up against that breeze, and again, a little bit long with some spin. Don't need to try and fit this between the fringe and flag. Contact sounded good. Yeah, the drop and stop. Good shot. Yeah, aggressive layup from Jung Yun-ji. All the way up here to about 30 meters from the pin. Walked it all the way up to have a look at the topography around the pin. Pretty sure that's her landing spot that she was standing on a little bit earlier. Maybe just the apex of where she wants to see this ball crest before working down to the hole. So these feel shots that top level professionals are so good at. Shot you feel like you hit more with your body, bigger muscles than twitching at it or swiping at it with your hands and wrists. Try and get your chest facing the target. Clipped that one nicely. Landed a little short of where she was standing. Just didn't trust it. Didn't fully commit to that landing spot. Fortune Hills staging the BC Card Hankyung Ladies Cup for the 11th time. Good fun venue, really interesting golf course, and a unique one at that. You have 3 par 3s and 3 par 5s on the back nine. 5 of each throughout the golf course and only 8 par 4s. Certainly a nice little change of pace and rhythm to your standard golf course layout. Rosi and Chung Yun-ji, they're going to be around the business end of the leaderboard with 36 holes to play. Final group on Saturday, very much looking like Kim Min-sol, Lee Dion and Rosi Hui. Yun-ji, even if she does hold this putt, is going to be teeing it up with Lee Ga-young and Park Ju-young by virtue of Kim Soo-ji's late bogeys. Yun-ji hasn't lost her turn yet. It's birdie putt now. Will be for a 9th circle on her card this Friday. It's got pace. Oof. Scared the cut for a moment. She'll mark that. Don't give me yet. She always does. Rosi Hui electing to putt with the flagstick in. This putt's going to be moving from right to left. And it would get her up into a share of second with Lee Dion and that much closer to Kim Min-sol. Lovely way to end the day for Rosi Hui. Blemish-free for the 2nd day in a row. Matches her opening round of 65. Well, she would have had her eyes on the cut line for most of the day, Hee Dong-eun, but a couple of very timely birdies for her. Given her the luxury of walking up this 18th hole without any stress. Chance for a birdie to go into Saturday at 4 under. Kind of similar to the putt that Lee Dion had. Looked straight at first, but we saw how much Dion's putt moved from right to left. just a little firm. Dong'un. ENG for par. Pulled up very nicely from this range today. And things aren't going to change here on the 18. That's a really nice day's work. Matches Rosi and Suji 65. Solo 4th through 36 holes. And Lee Dong-un will be safely through to the weekend. That round of 70. 3 under par for the Korea Women's Open champion. As we look back at some of the best from day 2 action here at Fortune Hills. Why not start with Kim Min-byul, who hit it to the turn and 2 under par, virtue of a hole-out eagle on the 15th hole, birdied her first and then the second. Taking her up to 14 under par and establishing at that point a 6-shot advantage. Would go on to birdie the 4th and the 5th before this laser-like approach into the short 8th. That yielded yet another birdie. It took her briefly to 17 under par. Unfortunately for Min-sol, she would bogey her final hole of the day. Still around a 66 and a 16 under par target through 36 holes. Lee Ga-young also had a very good day at the office. Bogey-free round of 68 for her, ending her day with a birdie on the 9th. And then the afternoon wave, Dion was on a tear. Birdies at 1, 3, 7, and then this beauty into the 8th. She was playing in the company of Kim Suji, who was 1 over par for her round at this stage. Not for long. She would match Dion's birdie with an excellent wedge of her own. Rosi and Suji was also making good progress. Birdies at 1, 8, and 9, and then this excellent approach into the par 5 10th set up her 3rd birdie in a row, taking her to 11 under par. At 13, clumsy 3rd shot over the back of the green, but it wouldn't matter one bit. A little bump and run through the fringe. That ball finding the bottom of the cup. Chip and birdie taking her 5 under for her round. At 17, coming off a bogey, her only bogey of the tournament thus far at 16. Jung Yoon-ji from way downtown. Track that into the bottom of the cup. She'll go into the weekend at 11 under par. There were a couple more birdies to be found in the rounds of Dion and Rosi on the last. Dion, solid round of 66. Rosi going one better with a round of 65. So that's how your leaderboard shapes up going into the weekend stages of this year's championship. It's Kim Min-sol who leads by 2 over Rosi and Lee Dion. We are set up for a fantastic bit of weekend action here at Fortune Hill. Certainly hope you can join us. But until Saturday, this is Timothy Lowe saying have a lovely evening and bye-bye for now.